Hello, people. Hello, folks. Welcome to yet another attempt to Let's Play Alien Legacy. This game, may break me before the end. This is probably my 20th attempt at getting a good output, and I have resorted to basically using my I have a Hapwidge HD PVR that I usually use for recording consoles. Well, this game has I've had so much trouble getting decent AV sync between my commentary and the game video and audio, or even the game video and audio itself. DOSBox's internals drops frames, and because it drops frames, it doesn't stutter like you expect it to. It just drops the frames, and the timestamps are the same accordingly. So when I try to sync it up with my external commentary, surprise, after about 10 minutes, the latency or the differences are just so bad you can't. The game runs ahead of my commentary, which I noticed in the previous Let's Play, which is one of the reasons why I stopped doing that one. The other reason is that this is I found a copy of the CD version sitting around, ripped off the CD long ago. The CD version is a little different than the floppy disk version, which was what I was playing. I think it's better in most respects. There are some full motion video. If I can, I will try and very hard to get the opening cutscene to record. I may just record that on its own using DOSBox and just say, I'm done. I'm done. Nope, no more. No more. Anyway, so let's and I recorded this once before, and I had a way that would keep my recording normally, but turns out it dropped frames. When it dropped frames, the game looked like a slideshow. Sorry, folks. So let's get on with it.
Greetings, Captain. Scientist Houseman reporting for
So we got the
duty
male
as your
science officer.
advisor and
We've got a
executive
chance of getting
officer.
one of
Advisors
two
are
genders
at
of
the
each
post
officer.
And anxious to get underway with our mission objectives. I suggest you refer to them for any advice or questions you may have. We are currently in orbit around the planet we call Gaia, an Earth-like world on which one of our probes impacted. The probe's telemetry indicates the current location is an excellent place to start our first colony. The probe has already initiated the colony at grid coordinates D2 on the Mercator map. We should send the resources
Antonelli
engineer
is
Antonelli
the
request
female
to that
engineer.
colony as soon as possible.
Hey, folks. I don't know why I'm yawning all of a sudden. So let's go around and meet the cast.
While we have been orbiting Gaia, I have performed a geological scan of its surface. The probe report generated by the scan is in your PDA under the library options.
Scientist.
Engineer Antonelli will know what resources we will need for our first habitat. You may want to confer with her.
Oh wow. I've never gotten a completely female staff, not in my memory, but this comes pretty close. I mean, obviously, since you've got 1 in each 2, unless they're weighted in some way, you've got a 1/2. Hey, folk. Jeez. Okay, 1/2, 4, 8, 16 chance of getting an all-female staff, or any individual staff choice pick. So,
Navigator Wu, sir. We currently have 4 vessels ready for your orders. Each ship has a very limited cargo and fuel capacity, but they should be more than adequate for our first few
our navigator.
One ship has enough room to transport the robots we need to construct our first
Very
habitat
important.
on Gaia. We should not send any humans to a new colony until there is a habitat there to house them.
Always looks angry in his... He looks very angry in his mini screen.
Engineer Antonelli reporting for duty. Sir, we do have nearly 2,000 crew members on board, still in cryogenic hibernation. We can awaken them only when we've provided enough living space on the Calypso. Our system will automatically wake up blocks of 50 colonists at regular intervals, space permitting. Our pre-seeded colony on Gaia seems to have all of the necessary materials except robots. At least 5 robots should be sent to the Gaia colony to begin constructing a habitat. We should not send any personnel until we have provided shelter for them. Once we have established our presence on Gaia, sir, I request a ship for a scouting mission along the nearby borders of our first colony.
Yeah, she doesn't introduce herself in the audio. Everyone else does, except for, of course, the scientists who's already introduced themselves. But it's kind of funny that it's there. It's just one of the weirdnesses.
When we get the chance, sir, I suggest we attempt a few recon missions on Gaia. I hope we can discern something of the Tantalus's fate, assuming it arrived here.
Right, background time. The Tantalus is another ship that was sent to the same system. It was sent about 17 years after us, but it had a better engine, and it's a bigger ship with a better engine, so it apparently got here, supposed to have gotten here 21 years before us. Our original mission was survive and colonize the system. We use a cryo ship, so... Oh, hello, robot.
Captain, we experienced a systems failure during our journey here. It will be necessary for me to repair the system.
Yeah, we can go to the game
While
options
en route
too.
to Caeli, we flew through a magnetic storm.
I almost never
I am in the process of
use
rebuilding
these
our main
screens.
memory core. I will alert you as each section is brought back online.
Instead, I use the right-click menu to go wherever the heck I want. Game turns. The game runs on a turn system that cycles in real time. Basically, there's 10 game settings, 1 through 10. I'm going to be using the keyboard to shift to cycle the time over and around. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to probe. Oh crap! I sat around too long talking to people, so now Rhea is out of reach. Ships have fuel. 1 turn for 100 energy, and they have a cargo capacity. Well, we'll just go to Alpha 5. Anything else I can get to? Probably not. Nope. Nope. Ooh. Send initial probe of Rhea. Probe there. Probe Hermes. Okay, things to do. I'm gonna go ahead and dismantle that. There's a neat trick that I found that if you build a factory, or build anything actually, and you change its production while it's building, when it finally finishes construction, the time required for the output of the next item will always be 1. This is good, especially for us, because especially when you're trying to build vehicles, it still takes the resources and everything. So, but rather than having to sit around and wait for resources, wait for ships, rather than retooling a factory, I can spend more resources and get a ship faster. Oops. This is the Mercator map. Sorry. Go back to exploring. Exploring! Okay. We're going to unload it there. Then we're going to go and be a little psychic, because I can. The reason I'm being psychic is because shortly thereafter, they talk to you about... these are science resources. They are worth 1 research point each. They are very useful to pick up because anything I pick up on the planet, I don't have to get in space. Meteor strikes across the sky, creating a straight line of fire as it burns up while entering the atmosphere. You've located an obscure rock formation radiating high magnetic pulses. This may help our scientists to understand Gaia's surface and allow us to find optimal areas for colonization. You name this area Copernicus, in honor of the Polish astronomer Nicholas Copernicus. We're going to be a little more psychic here. Because the colony sites are all preceded in the game. There are a fixed number of colony sites in fixed positions on the planet. Palm trees bearing lush purple fruits abound here in this green paradise. Those are biology research. We're going to need a lot of research points throughout the game, so finding them is convenient. Okay.
Captain, our transport ship has delivered the robots to New Terra on Gaia. I suggest you take a look at the colony and begin construction of a habitat. We should investigate any possible signs of the Tantalus colonies. I'm concerned that there has been no contact with anyone, and that there is no visible trace of them ever being here, sir.
Sir, due to the design for colony platforms we use, we are only able to have a total of 16
of course,
installations
this
active on
game
the
was
platform
redone,
at one
and
time.
this game came out in 1991
I wanted to be sure and clarify that with
originally,
you, to help you in laying out plans
and then
for our
was
future
redone for
colonies.
CD in 1995. Whew. Sorry, folks. The voice acting isn't great, but it is, I think, a plus.
Captain, the blue crystal we located on Gaia is most interesting. It can be used to focus our scanning beams and thereby allows us to isolate certain sectors on planets that meet our criteria to be inhabitable.
The other thing in this version of the game, which is not in the main version of the game, is are these markers here. Basically, these are... there we go. Those are basically markers to say I have been there. And when you tend to strip mine the place of all collectible resources, it's useful for when you're trying to find something, you know where you've been. This is our energy. When energy hits, if the energy hits 0 and we're down here on the planet, several moss species near produce a natural phosphorescence. The ship crashes. This is why I am not using this item or this item. This item is the scanner. It drains energy rather rapidly. There we go. In fact, it drains energy very rapidly to basically do a one-time scan of the area and gives you a listing of everything there. There we go. There we go. Okay. Calypso. Things that we need to do immediately on the Calypso is we need to build a pile of habitats for people to wake up in on the planet. Oh, right, they can't actually build there. This way, my population can grow. That's important. Okay. The first thing to do on any planet is to do that. Calypso, we are going to explore Gaia. And we are going to land there, apparently. Transport Calypso. I was going to basically cheat a little bit. Unload. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and get some more energy. Because the startup cost of any colony tends to be about 60 ore, 60 energy, and 30-ish. And this will be the first one we set up, so yeah. We are using the most basic ships, which is why we can't get to the outer planets. Just making sure that our ship... Okay, we've got more... So yeah, look at the energy go. You can also shoot laser beams and drop basically a plasma bomb. Plasma bomb is not worth it. It A, destroys resources, and there's really no reason. There's one use. There's two kind of uses of the lasers, and there is no use of the plasma bomb. There's no general use of the plasma bomb. Anything you'd use the plasma bomb for, you can use the lasers to do. Anyway, Tech Manager. This is our Technology Manager. This is where we manage research. The compound we are developing seems to be incredibly dense. It may serve as an important shielding material for our furnaces. That's nice. We're going to explore Gaia. We're going to send 30 people down to the planet. And then we're going to leave. Colony Manager. There. Change that to mining and siphoning. Okay. Okay, that one finished, so we'll dismantle it. That one finished, we'll dismantle it. That one finished, we dismantle. Dismantle.
Captain, our first habitat is now complete on Gaia. We can begin shuttling some of our personnel to the surface.
You can put people in there. As long as there's a colony, as long as it's there, it can be under construction or otherwise. Dismantle. Okay. Much better. I have a little robot factory building just to have one.